Strength in Christ. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." This verse is so often quoted for motivation, especially by pro athletes, but it's so easy to miss the true depth of what Paul was conveying here. In Philippians 4:13, Paul is under house arrest, probably in Rome during the time of Nero, and he's probably awaiting a trial for the Roman Empire as well. And as he writes, he recognizes that death may be the endpoint of his imprisonment, because the emperor at the time, Nero, was known to be very hostile, especially to these early Christians. So this verse, it's not about achieving goals or simply achieving tasks, but it's about the source of our strength. Paul was at peace with his circumstances because he didn't rest on his hope on them, but instead on God. The emphasis of this verse isn't on what we can accomplish, it's on who enables us to accomplish it. And our circumstances are constantly changing, they're constantly being modified, but of course we know that God never changes. This verse calls us to shift our focus away from our own capabilities, our possessions, and even our sense of what personal strength is. Instead, it directs our attention to Christ, who provides us with the strength needed to overcome whatever we face. Paul, in his letter, was speaking from experience. He knew what hardship was. He knew what imprisonment was. And he knew what suffering was. Yet he could say with confidence and from the bottom of his heart that he could endure and overcome it, not by his own strength, but through the strength of Christ that was poured into him. Christ's strength is constant, it's unfailing, it is complete. Qualities that our own strength and resources just simply cannot match. When we rely on ourselves, we're bound to encounter these limitations. But when we draw on Christ's strength, we tap into a divine source that does not falter and it does not diminish. So brothers and sisters in Christ, as we face challenges and go through new endeavors, let's remember that our confidence is not rooted in our own abilities and our own resources. Instead, it is rooted in the unshakable strength of the one who walks with us and the one who empowers us. Instead of focusing on the what of our tasks, let's focus on the who behind them. Trusting that with Christ, all things are indeed possible.